Joining us today, former Kansas City Fed President Esther George. Esther, great to have you. What a remarkable symposium over the weekend. Great debate. I wonder if you had a view on the chair's speech. We heard optionality and balance a lot, but I wonder if you thought it tipped one way or the other.
Yeah, good morning. I thought the chairman hit the tone and substance of the speech pretty much as he needed to, and consistent with where that committee has been, and that is a very strong commitment to getting back to that 2% target and setting the expectation that they will respond as the data comes in to lead them to what that next step is going to be.
It sounds like you yourself would probably be patient watching the data in September. Is that right?
Yeah, I think if I were looking at this, I think there is a good reason to be patient. You are following on the heels of one of the most aggressive tightening cycles. And of course, watching for the data to come in. Some of that has been very positive. As you look at inflation coming down, you see supply constraints beginning to ease. And I think the committee will want to look for the next set of data, at least, to give them a sense of where they should direct their attention by the time of the September meeting.
Esther, it's Morgan. Why do you think these aggressive rate hikes of the past 18 months have not had a bigger impact on the economy? Is it time to rethink the economic models? Is this time different?
Well, we'll see if this time is different. You have to be careful suggesting that it is. But I think one of the things that came out of this Jackson Hole conference was a reminder to central bankers that there are also long-term structural shifts going on in the economy that could affect the understanding of historical relationships, could put in motion some changes that will have impacts for them down the road. But for sure, the long and variable lags has not gone out of the conversation with central bankers. And I suspect they are aware that there could still be some effects to come in their policy actions to date.
So does that mean soft landing hopes are premature?
You know, for me, I think it's too soon to say soft landing. There's no question. Things have held up pretty well. The consumer's been resilient. We've seen the job market remain tight. And so far, I think people are pleased to see how the economy has performed. But of course, as the chairman reminded us in that speech, they have not achieved the target, and they are carefully watching to make sure that they arrive at that destination.
Esther, it's David. I'm curious as to your thoughts about the banking industry, particularly smaller community or even regional banks. With the move up in the long end, particularly, it's down a bit today. But, you know, the asset value there is coming down, the capital commitments needed for it. Any concerns on your part, and overall, just what the willingness is going to be in terms of their ability to actually lend?
Yeah, the banking system, of course, obviously is affected directly by the transmission of this policy and how aggressive that has been. I think the good news is bankers generally understand that they have to manage that asset liability mix on their balance sheet, that they have to remain well capitalized and well managed throughout these cycles that come at them. But of course, the reality is when you have such a dramatic hike in interest rates, there are sectors that are going to feel that. And so watching community bank portfolios, regional bank portfolios around commercial real estate, an asset class that often feels the effects of higher rates, watching how customers' credit quality is sustained throughout the cycle is very much going to be not only on the minds of bankers, but I think those that are monitoring the banking situation. So again, just as the soft landing narrative, so far so good, I think, with the banking system. But I think too soon not to think that some of these adjustments will have an impact